Hi guys, my name is Ezra and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a birthday book haul, girl. So yeah, okay, that's a bit exaggerated, but whatever. So yeah, my cousin was like telling me, hey Ezra, why don't you do like you haul 25 books because you're like 25 this year? And let's get started. First book is Ancient Lights by John Banville. So it's about this dude. I think his name is Alexander Cleave, who like his daughter was killed or murdered or whatever, so he has like midlife crisis and whatever shit, and then he starts to go back into the past. He starts reminiscing about his past, and he talks about like his affair with his friend's mother. So I was like, ooh, scandalous. But then as I was reading it, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I don't know what the fuck this author is writing. So I was like reading and reading, like I think 1 or 2 chapters, feeling like I was stupid as fuck, because I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? I don't understand. But it turns out it's not me, it's the book. This book is actually the second in the series. So to understand this book, you need to buy the first in the series, which I didn't know at the time. This is why you should always Goodreads a book before buying it. Don't make my mistake. So I'm giving this book away because obviously I don't have the first book. Next book is Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. I think this book is about like 2 teenagers who have the same name, who met, and then I don't know what. I tried reading a few chapters of this book, but I just wasn't feeling the writing, so I'm not gonna continue it. I'm gonna actually give it away to this organization, Free Books on the Move. So I thought it was pretty cool. There you go. And then the next book is Laurel Lamont's Life in Pictures by Emma Straub. And I think the gist that I got from the cover and the synopsis I saw on the back is that Elsa Emerson is a small town girl who wants to be an actress, so she changed her name, changed her persona a la Marilyn Monroe, and then shit starts to happen. And yeah, that's so far my understanding of the synopsis. Am I right? Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, I thought the cover was pretty cool. Next book is Serena by Ron Rash. Sorry. Why I bought this book, I don't even know. I think it's just because I saw I think his name is Bradley Cooper. I was about to say Brandon Cooper, but I was like, no, that's not his name. So yeah, Bradley Cooper and what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence. I'm pretty sure I just bought this book because of these two. Their faces are on the cover. Other than that, I have no idea why I bought this book, except that it was on sale. Because it was like, what, 8 ringgit? 5 ringgit during the book fair? Yeah. Next book, House Rules by Jodi Picoult. I don't know how to say or pronounce her name. Anyways, so House Rules is about Jacob Hunt, who has Asperger's syndrome. He's really bad in reading social cues, expressing himself to others, but he's really good in forensic analysis. So one day, a murder happens, and then Jacob is like showing all very suspicious behaviors to the cops, but actually it's just the Asperger's traits or whatever. So now people think that he is responsible, but is he? So this book was given to me by my cousin, by the way, so thanks, cousin of mine. Yeah. Oh my, I'm really bad at this book haul thing, but really, it's like sometimes I just buy or get books just because, there's not like in-depth thought to it or anything. But yeah, next book is An English Affair by Richard Davenport Hines. It says sex, class, and something in the age of something. Because, the sticker is covering it. But I bought this book because it seems really interesting. I think this is back in the, I don't know which time was it, but it's pretty much a book about sex and scandals and rumors and whatever in the UK administration, UK government, and I thought it was pretty cool because like I read an article a few months back about this minister or prime minister who was in a sex scandal with like a younger girl, and I thought, I don't know, it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's why I got this book. So okay, I got this one from the library. Let me just take it. I keep seeing this on like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and finally I saw it in the library and I thought, hey, why the fuck not? I'm not gonna lose anything. So the book is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. I don't know anything about this book. I just took it and I wanted to read it because of the hype. And that's pretty much it, really. But yeah, okay. I'll just read the synopsis at the back just in case y'all don't know nothing. So Andy had it all planned out. Important internship, check. Amazing friends, check. Guys, check. As long as we're talking no more than 3 weeks. But that was before her dad's political scandal. Before having to be in the same house with him. Before walking an insane number of dogs. That was before Clark and those few months that might change her whole life. Because here's the thing. If everything's planned out, you can never find the unexpected. And where's the fun in that? So, yeah. Okay, next is... I have a lot of books at this side. Let me just choose. Okay. Next one is The Orphan Master by Jean Zimmerman. This one I think is a murder mystery because, yeah, it says in 1663 in the colony of New Amsterdam, today's Lower Manhattan, orphan children are going missing and residents suspect a serial killer. So I was like, ooh, serial killer and an awesome cover. Sign me up. Plus, it's only 8 ringgit. Next book is A Covert Affair by Janet Conant. Is that how you say the name? So it's like when Julia and Paul Child joined the OSS. The only reason I chose this book without even reading the synopsis is because I watched the movie Julia and Julia, I think. You know that cooking movie with... I forgot that woman's name. You know the actress who plays the princess in Enchanted, and also the one who played in Nocturnal Animals or something? Amy something? Amy Reed? Is her name even Amy? But yeah, it's that actress who is in that. At least I think it was that actress. Oh my god, what if it wasn't that actress? But essentially, I chose this book because of that movie. I know this is non-fiction, but it's Julia Child. It's the same woman, so whatever. Okay? Next. Why am I feeling so defensive? God knows. Next is What Comes Next by John Katzenbach. It's another murder mystery. That's it. Really? It says here, let me explain something, number 4. Everything you knew about your life before has now ended. Who you were, what you wanted to be, your family, your friends, everything that was once familiar no longer exists. There's only this room and what happens here. From this moment, you belong to us. So that's pretty cool. What number is this book? I don't know, number 12, the 12th book, God knows. It's pretty much The Empty Glass by J.I. Baker. Okay, this book is a fiction which talks about Marilyn Monroe and like what happened before and after her death. No, wait. Yeah, pretty much it talks about before her death and what influenced her to commit suicide. At least that's what it says. Because it says that in the early morning hours of August 5th, 1962, a coroner found like Marilyn Monroe's diary revealing a doomed affair with a man she refers to only as the General. So in the following days, Ben unravels a cover-up that implicates the Kennedys, the Mafia, and the CIA. Soon, the sinister and surreal accounts recorded in the book bleed into Ben's own life, and he finds himself trapped like Monroe. So, yeah. I chose this book because it was interesting. It's about Marilyn Monroe, and the cover was cool. Next book is Shriver by Chris Belden. So the plot of this book is pretty much this dude called Shriver attends a writers' conference, but the thing is, he is not that author. There's a case of mistaken identity, and this guy is just like thinking, oh, maybe it really is me, and he just went because he's like, YOLO, motherfuckers. So he just went, and then suddenly somebody turns up dead. So now he's like, shit, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And so he decided to become a detective. At least that's what I'm getting from the synopsis. If I got it wrong, please don't blame me. Please don't blame me. Oh my god, I found my 5 ringgit popular voucher. Ooh. 50 ringgit spent in a single receipt. Okay, the next book is Architect Jalanan by Teme. I actually read the first book called Pelukis Jalanan, and I really liked it. I thought it was really amazing. I thought it was inspirational, motivational, and fucking shit. Let's just put it this way. I'm not the type of person who buys a book almost full price. I buy a book when it's like 50% to 70% off, okay? I don't buy a book when it's only 20% off. Like, I don't have the money for that, okay? Which is why I don't read new books. So anyways, I bought this book at only 20% off. It cost me 27 ringgit. So yeah, the first book really impacted me so much. I was willing to buy the second book at 27 ringgit. Willing to buy. I haven't read it yet because of reasons. But yeah. Right, I forgot to say the synopsis. Pretty much it's about this guy called Teme. Right? And this is like the second book talks about like his career in architecture. I don't know where, maybe in the UK, or I'm not sure if he went back to Malaysia, but it's like a continuation from the first book. The first book is more of like he is a student. He's an architecture student in the UK, and so now this second book is about him being an architecture person, a job. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, it's a continuation of his life story. It's more like a memoir slash motivational book, which I like. So I went a bit crazy with the whole classic literature, and I got a lot from Jane Austen. I got Persuasion, I got Emma, and I got Mansfield Park. Right, Emma, I honestly don't know what it's about. The only reason I chose this book was because the movie Clueless was loosely based on Emma, and I really liked that movie. So I was like, okay, and I also might have watched the movie, the one that has Gwyneth Paltrow as Emma. Bored the shit out of me, but actually it didn't bore the shit out of me. It just annoyed me because Emma is such a freaking busybody. But yeah, I'm willing to read it. Next is Persuasion. Don't know what's it about. The only reason I bought this is because again, because of a movie. You know that the Jane Austen book club, that movie? Yeah, one of the couple was reading Persuasion, and she managed to reignite her love for her husband. So I was like, oh damn, I better read it too then. Next one is Mansfield Park. I have no idea what it's about. I'm thinking this book is the one where the protagonist, or like the female protagonist, is like thinking somebody died in the house or something, and then she jumps to conclusion because she has a very imaginative imagination, and she kind of went cray. So I think this is that book. The other classics that I got is Mary Shelley Frankenstein, and this is because I read the other book. Let me go get it. And the only reason I'm interested in reading Mary Shelley Frankenstein is because I read this book, The Monsters, Mary Shelley and the Curse of Frankenstein. Other classic that I got is 12 Years a Slave, A True Story by Solomon Northup. I bought this a few years back, I think I bought this in 2014, 16, 15, I don't know. But I bought this right after the movie was released, because if the movie was good, the book must be better, right? So, haven't read it. Next one is The Heretic's Daughter by Kathleen Kent. And I bought this because it's pretty much about this whole family, right? Back in 1752. And the mother was being, I don't know, what is the word? Was being accused of being a witch. And then, yeah, pretty much that's why I bought it. It's like, it's about family and a mother who's being accused of being a witch, and then it's like how the family deals with it. It seemed like a really interesting book for me. I still haven't read it, but we'll get to that. The next one is Treblinka, the inspiring story of 600 Jews who revolted against their murderers and burnt a Nazi death camp to the ground, by Jean-Francois Steiner. I was doing so good the first two names. Jean-Francois Steiner, I think. If I mispronounce it, I'm really sorry. I don't know, come on, man. The title itself says the inspiring story of the 600 Jews who revolted against their murderers and burnt a Nazi death camp to the ground. If that doesn't entice you to read it, God knows what else. Okay. These 4 books I got because it seemed like a very intellectual book. It's the type of book that when you read, you feel smarter about yourself. You feel good, you know, like you're an intellectual reader, not somebody who constantly reads historical romance because they're too single in life, you know? So yeah, the books are, let me just shove it. The first one is The Story of English in 100 Words by David Crystal. I mean, it's like, he chose like a few words. I think it's 100 words, and he gives like the background to it, kind of like, for example, Roe. He'll tell you like what's it about, where did it originate, all in 100 words, which I feel is really interesting. It goes from Roe, which originated in the 5th century, up to the 100th word, which is Twitter sphere. Future directions originated in the 21st century. So I feel like it's really interesting to see how the English language like evolved and how the future of the English language, you know, goes in a sense. The next book that made me feel slightly smarter about my reading taste is Drude by Dan Simmons. I actually have another book by him called The Terror. I bought it when I was a preteen. It's been 12 years. I still haven't read it. It's just that intense. I just don't like it, okay? Why I bought Drude, God knows. I think it was because it was only 8 ringgit and it's like what? I don't know, 800 pages. So Drude is about Charles Dickens' obsession with... So yeah, on June 9th, 1863, while traveling by train to London with his secret mistress, 53-year-old Charles Dickens, at the height of his powers and popularity, the most famous and successful novelist in the world, hurtled into a disaster that changed his life forever. Did Dickens begin living a double life after the accident? Were his nightly forays into the worst slums of London and his deepening obsession with corpses, crypts, murder, opium dens, lime pits, and hidden London beneath London mere research, or something much darker? Based on the historical details of Charles Dickens' life and narrated by Wilkie Collins, Dickens' friend, frequent collaborator and Salieriesque secret rival, Drude explores the still unsolved mysteries of the author's last years and may provide the key to his final unfinished work, The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Chilling, haunting, and utterly original, Drude is Dan Simmons at his powerful best. So basically, it's about Charles Dickens, who is obsessed with this Drude character. Whether that Drude character is real or not, nobody knows. So that's the mystery. Next one is again a book that I bought solely because number one, it was cheap. Number two, it's almost 800 pages. Actually, no, it's only 656 pages, not including the questionnaire at the back. But yeah, I bought it. I don't even know what it's about. It's the Magus by John Fowles. And I don't know, it says it's a daring literary thriller and about this Nicholas Orph, a young Englishman who accepts a teaching position on a remote Greek island, and then the friendship soon evolves into a deadly game in which reality and fantasy are deliberately manipulated. And Nicholas finds he must fight not only for his sanity but for his very survival. I don't know, but when I was like getting this book to buy, I was thinking a whole a la Pan's Labyrinth. I don't know why, but yeah, I haven't read it, surprisingly. Okay, the fourth book that I took because it made me feel smarter is a library book actually, and it's called The Eighth Day by Mitsuyo Kakuta. And I'm really interested in reading this, number one, because it's really thin, so it's very manageable for me to read in the near future. And second, the synopsis is really interesting. So it's about this lady who has an affair with a married man, and she gets pregnant. And so the guy is like coercing her to get an abortion. So she did get an abortion because the guy is like, if you get this abortion, I will marry you. Like, I'll leave my wife, I'll divorce her, and I'll marry you, and we'll be together happily ever after. So she goes for the abortion, but the guy doesn't leave his wife. And so obviously she's pissed. And then she goes to the dude's house. Maybe she goes to the dude's house, but I think she goes to the dude's house, and she sees his newborn baby. And then she touches the baby, and then she's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Fuck him, fuck the world. I'ma kidnap the baby. And she did. She did kidnap the baby. I was like, hot damn girl. So yeah, she kidnapped the baby, and then she was on a run. She was like a fugitive for the next 3 to 4 years. And then after the 4th year, she got caught, and then the baby was, the now toddler, was given back to her biological parents. And then as the baby grew up into a lady or into a young woman, she starts to like have doubts about her identity. It's like, what's going on, you know, and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, it seems like a really interesting premise, you know, what would happen to a kidnapped victim? Especially one who was kidnapped so young, and then she thinks that the kidnapper is her parent, but then it's not. What's going on? I'd be confused too if I was her. And then the last book that I have for this birthday book haul is The Friend Who Got Away by... I don't know. It says... Let me see inside. Oh. Okay. It's by Jenny O'Phil and Alyssa Chappell? Whatever. So yeah, actually my good friend Mike gave it to me, so because she knew I like to read. And The Friend Who Got Away is basically like short stories of people like telling how they lost their friends, either through deception, either through backstabbing, betrayal, or like the friendship just fizzled out, etc. And yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm really sorry if I was just talking shit. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!